Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Labrat, and in today's writing vlog, we're going to be talking about side projects, balancing multiple writing projects, and I'm also going to be revealing what one of my side project titles means. It is currently Christmas Eve, but let's talk side projects. Yesterday evening, I was on Helene Foy's live stream, and we were talking about book titles and bounty hunters, and so I finally shared for the first time on this channel. Well, it wasn't even on my channel, so I guess I'm doing that now, but for the first time online, I revealed what my side project CBH stands for, and it stands for Cyborg Bounty Hunter. And then for the past roughly 24 hours, 25 hours since that live stream has ended, I have not been able to stop thinking about that side project. It's been sitting on the side while I've been working on my main project, which is called Project DE, which is a high fantasy told from 3 points of view that deals with darkness, magic, dragons, good and evil, all that fun stuff. And I kept telling myself that I would work on CBH after I was done, completely done with DE. And part of that was because I had two ideas for CBH, two main ideas that were kind of warring with one another. And I had this breakthrough last night that they're actually two completely different stories. And I was just trying to force them to become one, and they do not belong together at all. I realized that I was trying to force a sci-fi romance into what CBH really truly is, and that the sci-fi romance really just needs a lot more soft sci-fi elements that almost make it more of a fantasy story than an actual sci-fi story, and that CBH, or Cyborg Bounty Hunter, can stand on its own and be almost more of a space opera, which would be a much harder science fiction. The romance is going to be more YA or new adult, and it's lighter and romantic and idealistic and beautiful, and deals with some of the best parts of human nature and curiosity, whereas CBH is definitely adult, and it's gritty and it's dark and deals with some of the worst parts about human nature. And I already love both of the stories so freaking much, but that was a big part of my confusion and hesitation, was having these two conflicting age categories, one potentially being YA or new adult and one being very adult, as well as one being happy and one being much darker. And since I've had these breakthroughs, I've had such a desire to work on these stories, so I ended up spending yesterday evening completely going through my 300 pins that I had in my Pinterest board for CBH, and then splitting the pins up to make sure that everything that I had pulled for more of the romance side of the story, when I thought it was all one story, into a separate board, and then really concentrating down those concepts and images in the CBH board to make it very much gritty and following what I think it is. And so now I have two boards that are much more succinct than they were together, which is an absolutely amazing breakthrough. And now when I scroll through either of those boards, I really deeply get into the headspace of whichever story that is. And now that I've had that breakthrough, one of the biggest questions I have now is what the scope of each story is. I have a tendency to underestimate, but I think the romance science fiction is more likely to be a novella or a shorter novel, sort of at most, because I know what the main core of the story is going to be, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be the kind of grand adventure I tend to write. It will be very different from what I've written thus far, whereas CBH is either going to be a book or an entire universe with multiple storylines, multiple series, and my brain sees absolutely no in between the one book and a universe, because my brain sees it as I either need to focus on this one story or these couple of stories that I have in my head for this CBH book, or I have to explore every possibility in the universe. Another reason that these might be so appealing to me right now is that my main project, Project DE, that I'm currently about 36,000 words into the rewrite or draft 3 on right now, is not really doing it for me. I don't feel like I have the brain power to focus on that right now, and kind of have felt that way since my last week at my last job, because I'm done with that now, which was a week and a half ago, but I haven't worked on it since then, and I'm not in the right headspace for it. And logically, I know that that's why I have my side projects and my back burner projects, and now is literally the perfect time. It's the textbook definition of when I would allow myself to work on a side project for a while until I feel comfortable and ready to get back into rewriting DE, because that is such an overhaul that tonight I am going to write down my current ideas for CBH, and over the next next few days, I think I'm going to work on them a little bit and just kind of explore this like fun, brand new idea. It's not a brand new idea. I've had it for like 2 or 3 years, but I'm finally like starting it, I guess you could say. Or I'm like starting to come up with like some semblance of a plot, which is crazy because no plot has existed up until this point. So I think that is how I'm going to spend my next few days. I don't know what I was saying, but it has been 6 days since my last day of work. It's now Thursday, last Friday, which seems at the same time like forever ago, also like yesterday. But that was 6 days ago that I had my last day of work, but I have not written since December 15th. Today is December 24th. Is that only like 9 days? It feels like way longer than that. But today on December 24th, I ended up making a brand new document and entitling it CBH Draft 1, and I wrote 704 words in it. That feels so good to say. Over the next couple of days, I will go back through and reread my 30 or so page document with all of my notes about CBH and the romance story, because again, they were bonded for so long. I will go through and like sort out what falls where and like in which story, and sort of kind of try to like gather my thoughts on this and then see what happens moving forwards. You know what it is? I think it's the lack of pressure with this not being my main project that gives me more freedom, or at least the feeling of freedom, to work on it as I please, and it is a much lower stress project, even though DE is not stressful. It's like I have no expectations right now for it, and I'm going to ride that for as long as the muse encourages me. It has been 2 days since I last talked to you guys, December 25th and December 26th. On December 25th, I was actually really impressed because I did do a little bit of writing. I got 198 words in CBH in about 15 minutes, but most of it was brainstorming. I was starting to reread my notes document, and so slowly making progress through that. And then on December 26th, I ended up doing 1,817 words of rewriting for my project DE. And so like, I'm wondering if that 8-day break or something from writing and then getting back into CBH instead of directly back into rewriting DE somehow gave me like a step ahead and like got my brain back where it needed to be for this. But on December 26th, I also ended up doing 118 words for CBH, which brought me up to a total of 1,935 words in a total of 1 hour and 40 minutes across the two projects. So that's almost 2,000 words in less than 2 hours. Granted, a lot of that was rewriting, and that takes me a lot less time to do than like drafting brand new words, but I was very impressed by that. And today, which is December 27th, I am currently sitting at a little over 1,000 words rewritten for the day in Project DE. I have not yet touched CBH yet, although I think I might try to do a little bit more of that today too, because the past couple of days have been fun, kind of going back and forth between the two. And then last night, it was kind of interesting because my sister decided that she wanted to take some writing tests, like writing speed tests to see how fast she could type. That's what they're called, typing tests. And I was like, okay, I don't know why you would do that to yourself, but then I was like, that could be interesting. So I decided to pull it up as well because I haven't done a typing test in so long that I wanted to know how many words I actually write per minute. And so I pulled it up and I did one test. It was like 1 minute long, so like not the most accurate thing ever, but I got 65 words per minute with an accuracy of 93%. So 61 words per minute as my like adjusted words per minute. And I just thought that was interesting because I had no idea how fast I was typing. I'm actually curious to do like a 3 or 5 minute test to get more of like an averaged out test result. But I just thought that was kind of fun and interesting because like I had no freaking clue. But I feel like I was a little exhausted from traveling and being around family and stuff for the holidays. And I know that New Year's is still coming up, but the house is a little bit more quiet now than it was for Christmas. And now that I've been off of my job for like a week and like 2 days, a week and 2 days, I'm feeling much more rested, which is great. And I have about another week until I start my new job, which I'm very excited for. But I've also been very motivated to be working on my creative projects, and I don't know if that's because the year is coming to an end and I'm trying to like up my word count for this year, or if I'm getting back into being able to see the end of this project. I don't know, but either way, I'm excited about it. It's also snowing outside, but you guys can't see that. Oh yeah, you just like straight up can't see that. I tried, it's fine. So I think that's my update for right now, is things are going very well. I've also only been balancing these projects together again for like 2 or 3 days, but so far it's going well. So I'm gonna see how long I can do that for. Yeah. It's just fun. So on December 27th, I ended up going back to my main project, which is Project DE, and I ended up rewriting 1,251 words in about 50 minutes of writing sprints. Then on December 28th, I was still feeling my Project DE, and so I did 208 more words of rewriting. And then yesterday, which was December 29th, I decided to go back into my Project CBH and do some more reading through of the notes that I've taken in my notes document. And so I was counting notes that I was both adding to that document as well as some new drafting words in this, baby side project. And I ended up getting 753 words in about an hour and 35 minutes because a lot of it was reading over the notes that I already had there and kind of making sure that I still wanted it to be there. And then today, which is December 30th, I decided to go back into DE again and do some more rewriting. And so far today I have rewritten about 740 words, which is like very solid considering it's not even noon yet. But I also just passed the 40,000 word mark in the rewrite, and so I'm so freaking excited about that. It feels good to get those like 4 zeros all lined up together. Oh man, it's just a pretty number. And I'm going to be doing some more rewriting later today, but I'm not going to include that in this video. But I just feel like 40,000 words is a very good stopping point for this vlog. And this vlog is also going to be my last of the year, which is insane. But in the past, I have not really been known to balance multiple projects. And kind of as I've been doing that over this past week, I'm trying to figure out if switching projects makes me more productive and get more words in overall, because I can work on what I want to be working on instead of like forcing myself to work on a certain project that I might just not be feeling that day or something. Forcing is a very strong word, please understand that, but sometimes like you're just not really feeling it. But I'm also wondering if there's a flip side to that, and if switching projects constantly kind of takes my brain a little bit out of the story that I'm working on, and if it actually makes it harder then for me to get back into the project when I choose to work on it. Like if I choose to work on both DE and CBH in a day, I kind of have to like think about and reread more of like what I wrote previously to try and figure out where I am, where the characters' heads are at. Whereas I feel like if I'm working on one project and one project only, I don't have to do that as much because I'm already in the mindset more, because I didn't pull myself out of it by working on a different creative project. I didn't think that that would be something I would be concerned about. Concerned isn't the right word, but it's something I wasn't thinking about when I started kind of wanting to try to balance these two projects after my breakthrough last week on Helene's live stream. And I really like the idea of working on multiple projects at once, because I like the idea that you can have multiple things going on and you can be making progress in multiple areas and progressing in multiple stories. And it's almost like a backup, because for these two stories, I think I want them to be traditionally published. It's almost like more security if I have both of these ready, we'll see about that one, like relatively close to one another to start being queried. I don't think that's gonna happen. I definitely think that DE is gonna be ready first. But then if for whatever reason DE doesn't get picked up, nobody wants to pick it up when I'm querying because the market is, fickle, then I would have a story that would be ready to be queried shortly thereafter. And so there's a lot of benefits to trying to work on two projects at once. I just don't know if it's sustainable, which is going to be interesting moving forward. And I would love to know down in the comments below if you choose to focus on one project or if you are working on multiple things like at any given point in time, because this is kind of new to me and the newness makes it fun. And so I think I'm gonna keep trying it for a little bit, and I will make sure that I document that in future writing vlogs. And so I think that's gonna be it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to learn what one of my side projects is all about. Well, technically two of my side projects, because I split CBH into the romance and into this more gritty sci-fi, as well as hitting 40,000 words in the rewrite of DE out of probably 106,000. That's how many draft 2 had when it was done. And so just moving forward with those things feels so good. And I think one of the things that's really exciting is getting to make progress in 2 different projects like at the same time and seeing different milestones happening. It's almost like motivating that I want to keep working on both of them. Just things to think about. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel by telling the YouTube algorithm that you liked my video and that someone else might too. If you are not already subscribed and want to see more videos from me, make sure you scroll down below, hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell next to it so you don't miss another one of my uploads, because I'm currently posting twice a week and doing live streams occasionally. I need to figure out what my schedule is going to be in the new year. And on that note, Happy New Year to everyone watching this. We made it through 2020. That's amazing. That's so amazing. And I'm hoping that you and yours have amazing holidays, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye.